So let's begin with the next topic of vectors. In previous we have completed the numericals related to exercise 10.2, correct? And if any problems were there or any confusions in that were there, please let me know. We will solve those problems and clear all the doubts. Okay? So with that, we'll come to the second part of this vector algebra chapter. That is product of two vectors. Okay? Yes, we have come across this word product or multiplication in the previous, just a little more previous of this topic. That was multiplication of a vector by a scalar. Correct, no? Or a number. That we have already done. If a vector is multiplied by a number, that number has to be multiplied for all the three components of that vector. That is done. Now we are coming across something that is product of vector, that is multiplication of a vector by a vector. Okay, we are not multiplying by a scalar or a number. Instead, I am going to multiply a vector by another vector. And there are two ways of product of vector or multiplication of vectors. First one is dot product or scalar product. Second one is cross product or vector product. Okay, so this cross product or vector product will come across in the next topic after the completion of dot product. Okay, first we'll come across the dot product understanding. Clearly we'll understand all the things, that is observations, properties, and also one more thing, concept of projection. Okay, with this we have the next exercise, that is 10.3. so that full exercise will be based on these concepts. So once we are done with that, then we can move on to the cross product of vectors. Okay, that will be the last exercise in this chapter, that is cross product. In this vector product, sorry, the scalar product or dot product is the second part of exercise, and there is one more exercise. So once you are done with this, your chapter will be completed. So for now, clearly understand this dot product concept. Okay, so I'll explain you all what is the meaning of dot product, and I have already written that it is also called as scalar product. So which means, now suppose if I imagine there are two vectors. Okay, two vectors, one is like this and one more is like this, which is making an angle of theta in between each other. Okay, so if there are two vectors, A vector and B vector, they are making an angle of theta in between each other. So then the dot product of these two vectors, that is, imagine a vector, this one is made to resolution. You have heard about resolutions before, correct? No? To the below it is cos theta, and to the y-axis it is sin theta. The resolution of vectors. The same concept will be used in this one. That is, what happens when the two vectors are made to fall on each other. That is to resolute it to the bottom line over here, or like this, the horizontal line. So the horizontally what will happen is, this vector, that is B vector, is going to dot product, the product with that A vector, and the final resultant will look something like this. Understood? It's something like, you can imagine, suppose you are shooting an arrow with respect to ground. This is the arrow which moves like that, and what would have happened, instead of me shooting at an angle, instead of that I make it at the straight part. So that will give me the geometrical idea or practical idea of a dot product. Okay, what happens is the magnitude intensifies. The magnitude of these two vectors gets intensified, and with respect to cos theta. Why is cos theta coming here in picture? Because the resolution of two vectors or resolution of two lines with respect to horizontal. Okay, so the dot product is algebraically represented. This is what I meant by geometrical idea. So nobody is going to ask you all what is the practical idea of a dot product or something. More practical idea is found in cross product. Okay, this is more practically can be explained. This is more practical, whereas this is more of theoretical. Okay, which means I can imagine cross product, but I cannot imagine dot product. Clear? So, and remember it as a theoretical concept. Which is it? Dot product as a theoretical concept. And when you come to cross product, it is more practical. You can think and you can imagine what is actually happening in a cross product. Okay, and cross product finds a lot of applications when compared to that of dot product. So dot product is mainly for the theoretical calculations. So we'll study it in that way. So don't go to take much of tension. What is this dot product? How will it look and all that? Okay, just go on remembering this particular formula, and this is the very important formula for dot product or scalar product. So A dot B, it is read as vector A dot vector B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta, or magnitude of A, magnitude of B, cos theta. So that is the formula for dot product of two vectors. Okay, so you know, even if it was B dot A, it would be still the same. Magnitude of B, magnitude of A, cos theta. So which means the vector product is commutative. Vector product is commutative. Here I have written it. That is A dot B is same as writing B dot A. Okay, so remember this. So now if A and B, A or B is a zero vector, then theta is not defined. Agree or not? Imagine this A or B is a zero vector, which means B vector is not at all existing. If it is zero vector, it is right here. Correct? Theta is not defined. If theta is not defined, A dot B is equal to 0. Clear? So that is how you will understand this. Theta is not defined means theta is equal to 0 or something. So A dot B is equal to 0. This is possible when A or B is zero vector. Okay, this is one condition where it is possible when A or B are zero vector. So we'll come across many other things. So let this be like this itself for now, and this is theta. So this is the important thing which you need to remember. A dot B, when theta is given, it is going to be magnitude of A, magnitude of B, cos theta. Clear? And the theta will always range within the value of 0 to pi. It will not increase greater than pi, or theta will never become negative. Clear? So understand this concept, and we'll move on to the observations of this one. In this observations, we can tell that A dot B is always a real number. Agree or not? Magnitude of A is something a positive number. Magnitude of B is a positive value. Cos theta is again a positive value. A positive value or a number. Correct or not? Cos of any angle is going to be a number. Either half or root 3 by 2 or 1 by root 2, 1, 0, like that. So this particular term is always going to be a real number. The A dot B is always going to be a real number, and it is a scalar quantity. Okay, it is a scalar quantity. So that's why the name is given as scalar product. So when you dot product the two vectors, you will get as a scalar quantity. That's why it is going to be called as a scalar product. And now I'll tell you on cross product. When you cross product A cross B, that time you will get a vector answer. That's why it is called as a vector product. Okay, so you'll be learning more about it in detail, but I just wanted you all to differentiate between the two things. If I multiply two vectors and get it as a number, then it is a scalar product or dot product. If I get it as a vector, then it is a vector product or vector product or the cross product. Okay, so this one, first thing is A dot B is a real number or a scalar quantity. Then second observation, if A and B are non-zero, and if still we get it as A dot B is equal to 0. If here I told A or B is 0, then obviously A dot B is equal to 0. Correct? If A and B, A or B is 0, then A dot B, the dot product is 0. Now, if A and B are non-zero vectors, but still I find out that the scalar quantity, the scalar dot product is A dot B is equal to 0. Then this particular thing is only possible only and only if A is perpendicular to B. Agree or not? If A is perpendicular to B, what is happening? The angle between them is 90 degree. Cos 90 is 0, which means A dot B is equal to 0. I hope you understood. Yes? So when A and B are at perpendicular to each other, the dot product is equal to 0. Clear? The dot product is equal to 0. A dot B is equal to 0. One possibility of obtaining the dot product 0 is either one of the two vectors should be 0. Or another one way is, if two vectors are also not 0, then A is perpendicular to B. And this particular observation I can find out, this will be useful where, if they ask you to prove that the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. That time what will I do? Simply I find the dot product. If I get the dot product as 0, then it is perpendicular to each other. Clear? They have given that this A and B are non-zero vectors. Okay, that will be given. That will come across when you are solving that particular problem. So this observation is important. And then one more. Third observation. If theta is equal to 0, then A dot B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B. Simple as that. Cos theta, theta is 0, cos 0 is 1. So which means A, magnitude of A and magnitude of B just remains the same. If the angle between the two vectors is 0, then the dot product is simply nothing but the product of their magnitudes. Clear? So that is what, and using that same thing, if I take the dot product of the same vector, a vector in dot a vector itself. So it is nothing but magnitude of a into magnitude of a, which is magnitude of a square. Clear? So that is what it means when theta is, because theta is always equal to 0. The vector into the vector itself, a vector into a vector. The angle is 0 in between them. Therefore, it is going to be just the magnitude of a into magnitude of a, which means magnitude of a square. Okay, so that one was the fourth observation. Fifth observation, what if the theta is 180 or pi? It is just opened up wide like that, correct? And draw it here. This is, sorry, this is here A, this is B, and this is pi, correct? This one. So cos pi, how much is cos pi? Minus 1. Cos pi is minus 1. A dot B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta. Theta is minus 1. When I substitute theta as minus 1, I simply get it as minus of magnitude of B into magnitude of A. Clear? So when A dot B, if theta is 180 or pi, then it is going to be negative of magnitude A dot B. Clear? So that one was that fifth observation. Then the sixth observation. This is important. Most of the people simply by heart this particular equation. And I'm pretty sure you have come across these equations in physics, first year physics. Is it? Some 100 years ago. Okay, 100 years ago. So you might have seen this particular thing and you have by hearted this. Okay. So I will tell you all what is actually happening in here. This I, J, K are the unit vectors along x, y and z axis, which I have already explained. Please recall that. So here you can see this is the x axis, y axis and z axis, and these are the unit vectors. If you all cannot see much clear in the video, please pause the video and check this out. So here you can see that along the x axis the unit vector is I cap, along the y axis the unit vector is j cap, along the z axis the unit vector is k cap. Okay, so these three axes are mutually perpendicular to each other, which means the angle between these three vectors is means 90 degrees. Yes, all the three vectors are mutually perpendicular to each other, which means I dot j, and right here, I vector, I cap dot j cap. Unit vector is a vector, don't forget that. I dot j cap is equal to I cap, magnitude of I cap, magnitude of j cap into cos theta. What is the angle between I and j? 90 degrees. They are mutually perpendicular to each other. Magnitude of I is how much? I cap magnitude, unit vector it is, correct? 1. And j is also 1. Cos 90. Cos 90 is how much? 0. So which means is equal to 0. So I dot j is 0. Same way j dot k is also 0 and k dot I is also 0. I dot k is also 0. Since commutative property holds good, this is same as writing the other way, that is j dot I, k dot j and I dot k. It is one and the same. Okay, so whenever the two different unit vectors are present, their dot product is 0 because of the theta. Angle theta is 90. Clear? So I hope you understand how to obtain this equation and remember this in the practical sense. So this is the diagram which will imagine. Now what happens? The same dot product is happening. I dot I. We have come across A dot A vector. A dot A vector is magnitude of A square. I dot I vector is magnitude of I square. I cap square. Magnitude of I is 1. 1 square is 1. It's all. Here. So I dot I square magnitude I dot I. I'll write it clearly. I cap dot I cap is equal to magnitude of I cap square, which is 1. Magnitude of I is 1 square, which is 1. Which means I dot I is same as writing j dot j is same as writing k dot k, which is equal to 1. Clear? So these are the observation, and there is one more observation, that is angle between the two non-zero vectors a and b. See, I'm using this formula. I shift this one this side, it becomes cos theta is equal to A dot B divided by magnitude of A into magnitude of B. Theta is nothing but cos inverse of A dot B divided by magnitude of A into magnitude of B. This is my inverse trigonometric functions. To find out theta, I will shift the cos the other side. So cos inverse is equal to A dot B divided by magnitude of A into magnitude of B. So it will give me the answer for angle theta. So simply using the first formula itself, I am shifting it down and taking the trigonometric inverse of that. Clear? So these are the observations. Please understand it clearly, note it down clearly, and these sentences, whatever I have written, is in short forms. Please make a detailed sentence of each one of them. You can go through the help of your textbook, or you can understand what and all I have taught. My words in this has complete sentences in my teaching. So listen to the teaching and frame the sentences in detail for all these observations. Clear? So even here explanations are there, everything explanations are there. So in my teaching itself, I want you all to prepare a notes in detail for this thing, because this is the time you will get to study this particular concept clearly and easily, and a lot of time you have. So please spend a lot of time on studying this concept so that you need not study it once again. This will be having its own application, and in order to understand the next concept, you should be very clear with this concept so that you don't get confused with the cross product. So dot product should be very clear in order to move on to the next concepts. Okay.